So, you're thinking about starting a new school. That's awesome, a really thrilling venture. But what's that one single step that takes your big idea and turns it into a real, officially recognized school? You guessed it, it's all about affiliation. And today, we're going to break it down and give you a simple guide to get through this whole process here in India.
All right, let's say you've got it all lined up. You've got the land, you've got the building, and you've definitely got the passion. But hold on. Before you even think about unlocking those doors for the first time, there's a huge question you've got to answer. How are you going to get affiliated? Seriously, this decision is the absolute bedrock. Everything else is built on top of it.
Okay, so let's jump right in. Here's what we've got on the docket for today. First, we'll cover what school affiliation even is. Then we'll look at the big national boards, CBSE and ICSE. After that, we'll check out state versus international options. We'll get you prepped for the big inspection day and wrap up with some common mistakes you'll definitely want to avoid. All right, first up, let's get right to the heart of it. What exactly is school affiliation? And more importantly, why is it something you absolutely positively cannot skip if you want your school to be legitimate? Think of it like this. Affiliation is the official stamp of approval from an education board. It's them saying, yup, this school meets our standards for everything from the size of the classrooms to what's being taught. And here's the kicker, the most important part. Without that stamp of approval, your students can't take the official board exams. That's a deal breaker.
So how do you get there? Well, the journey usually has three main stages. For most of the big national boards, you'll kick things off by getting what's called a No Objection Certificate, an NOC, from your state government. After that, you apply for a provisional, kind of like a temporary, affiliation. Then, once you've been up and running successfully for a few years, you can go for the upgrade to permanent status.
Okay, now that we've got the basics down, let's talk about the big players. We're going to dive into the two giants of the Indian education scene, CBSE, the Central Board of Secondary Education, and CISCE, the council that runs the ICSE exams.
Let's start with CBSE, which is, the most popular board across the country. Now, before you even dream of clicking that Apply Online button, you've got to have your ducks in a row. Your school has to be run by a nonprofit trust or society. You need recognition from your state, and you have to either own your land or have a lease for at least 15 years. And it goes without saying, but things like safety, labs, a library, all that is absolutely non-negotiable. Okay, next up, paperwork. You've got to gather all the proof. This list right here, this is the crucial stuff you'll be uploading to CBSE's official online portal, which is called SARAS. We're talking everything from your society registration and land deeds, all the way to your financial records and even pictures of your campus. Each piece of paper helps tell your school's story and prove you're the real deal. So, let's put these two side by side, CBSE and ICSE. Now, they're both super prestigious, right? And they have similar basic requirements, like you've got to be a nonprofit. But here's a key difference you'll notice. CISCE, the board for ICSE, puts a huge emphasis on top-notch English instruction and really solid teacher training. That's kind of their thing. But hey, the national boards aren't the only game in town. Let's zoom out a bit and look at some other options. We're going to talk about the state boards, which are really the backbone of education in their regions. And then we'll look at the big, globally recognized international boards. So, if you're thinking about going with a state board, the number one thing to remember is it's different everywhere. The process really varies from state to state. Your go-to person is probably going to be the district education officer, or DEO. The basic requirements, safety, good teachers, are pretty much the same anywhere you go. But state boards can sometimes be a bit more flexible. Your first move, go straight to your state's official education website. That's where you'll find the specific rules. Now, when we get into the international world, the differences become less about rules and more about philosophy. It's fascinating. Just look at the words they use. The IB authorizes a school, while Cambridge registers one. See, the IB is all about the how you teach, your whole educational philosophy, encouraging kids to ask questions. Cambridge, on the other hand, is laser-focused on the what, academic quality, and making sure their exams and assessments are rock solid. And becoming an IB World school? Yeah, that's not just filling out a form. It's a whole journey. It starts with a consideration phase, where you both basically figure out if you're a good fit philosophically. Then you become a candidate and start building your program with their guidance. And it all leads up to a big verification visit before you finally get that authorization. It's a deep process. Okay, no matter which path you choose, CBSE, ICSE, state, or international, They all lead to one place, an inspection. A team from the board is going to show up at your school. This is it, the moment of truth. It's the final hurdle, so let's make sure you're ready to clear it.
But before we get into the nitty-gritty checklists, I want you to remember one simple but powerful idea. Transparency builds trust. Look, the inspectors aren't coming to find a perfect, flawless school. That doesn't exist. What they're really looking for is honesty. They want to see that you're transparent and committed to doing things the right way. A little sincerity can make a huge difference.
So when inspection day comes, being organized is your superpower. Have all this stuff ready to go. You want the original documents for your land and safety certificates, teacher files, attendance registers, everything. Make it easy for them. Don't have them digging around for information. Having it all laid out shows you're professional and you respect their time. Then just greet them with a smile, be confident, and be proud to show them what you've built.
All right, let's switch gears and talk about what not to do. It's so important to learn from the mistakes others have made. Knowing these common pitfalls can literally save you from getting rejected, which saves you a ton of time, money, and, let's be honest, a lot of heartache.
These right here, these are the absolute deal breakers. The big red flags that will get your application thrown out. Simple stuff like incomplete paperwork is a common reason people stumble. But trying to fake records for staff or for your land, that's a critical game over kind of mistake. And of course, if you fail on the basics like fire safety, clean facilities, or having qualified teachers, you're just not going to get approved. Period.
At the end of the day, you've just got to remember this. Affiliation is not just some formality you have to get through. It's not just ticking a box. It's your school's entire reputation, right there on paper. It's a reflection of your quality, your integrity, and your commitment to your students. It's everything.
So there you have it. We've laid out the whole map for you, from the big national highways like CBSE and ICSE to the local state routes, and even the international avenues with IB and Cambridge. No matter which path you choose, the goal is always the same: giving kids a safe, amazing, high-quality education. Your school's future really does start with this one decision. So which path will you choose? Just remember to stay compliant, be honest, and your school is absolutely going to shine.